I'm a problem.
Hi gems, it's your girl Ambra here and welcome back to my channel. We see a new setup. Shout out to my girl Cheryl Christine. She had some leftover items from her beauty room and I was like, girl, let me get that up off you. She was so gracious and now I have an official like space and I'm excited about that. You know, outside from the boys and my hubs, it really gives me an area where I can play girl. Play girl? Play girly? Playing girly things. Let's just go with that. Anyway, today's look is all stemming from new products that I just recently got. I got the new Morphe palette that came out, which I believe they're calling Frost to Fall. I got some new highlighter products. You guys know I just came back from Trinidad and Tobago, so I'm using a load of Sacha Cosmetic products that I've never used before, including the foundation that I'm wearing today, and a new contour powder that they deem a blush, but I used it as a contour powder nonetheless. But if you're interested in how I achieve this look, keep watching. Alright, I figured I'd show you guys how I've been doing my brows lately. Nothing much has really changed, but just the product. Sometimes I use a pencil, sometimes I use some fluid line, and today I'm using MAC's Dip Down Fluid Line for filling in my brows, and I'm just using a spoolie and brushing them in the direction that I prefer. And then I'm just going in with my MAC angled brush, and this is a 236 angled brush, and I'm just applying it to my brow in the shape that I wish and really just outline what the arch is naturally doing. And you just make sure when you're applying the fluid line, you just use really light strokes because although you are filling in your brows, you don't want them to appear too animated, more, you know, as unnatural as brows can look nowadays. You want to make sure that you're at least going with hair-like stroke motions and just filling in the space that is sparse on your brow. And to clean up, you know, that wasn't a sentence. You know, I've been using Select Cover Up by MAC, and I use NW45 with a flat edge brush just to clean up under the brow and really make the filling in that I've done stand out and more prominent. And because this is a concealer, I like to set so that it doesn't crease throughout the day. And I'm just using my Studio Fix powder by MAC. And I mentioned this brush in another tutorial but failed to tell you the number, and it's the E8. So it's the Elite Collection from Morphe. And I apply the powder on the concealer, and I follow this same practice when I'm not using like your typical lid primer. I like to use the same concealer, and as you see me doing here, applying it all over the lid and then setting it with a powder. And again, I'm using the Studio Fix by MAC to set it in place before I start applying other shadows. We're jumping right into the Morphe palette. This is the Fall into Frost, and I'm using my first transition color, which is kind of like a skin tone brown. You guys, I don't have the name of these colors in this palette, but off of initial use, I really like how smooth and pigmented they are. There's a bit of fallout, so forewarned in that nature, but I did like that I'm seeing an evolution with Morphe shadows as they come out with more palettes like these. And I think this one retail for $22.99. Not 100% sure, but I'll make sure to list that information below. And then I'm going with my handy dandy BH Cosmetics brush, blending brush, just above the crease in that darker brown. And what I'm noticing is that the brown is giving me like a purple. And I'm loving that because I know that I wanted to do more of like a plum berry eye look. But again, very pigmented, and I made a face like, whoa, because I'm not really applying too much product and it's showing up really, really nicely on the lid. And just in a windshield wiper motion, blend this out as much as you like to really blow it out and allow all those colors to kind of marry. I did step outside the palette and went for my Makeup Forever, I think it's M928 Eggplant, because I just wanted to deepen that appearance, and the Morphe palette didn't have what I was looking for. So sometimes you got to step out but then come back in. So then, no, this is not a new product, but to really complete the look and give the overall payoff that I'm looking for, I had to step out. So I am using these two shades that I'm pointing. I'm using the darker one all over the lid and the lighter one in the inner corner. I was sitting here thinking, like, did I want to do the opposite of that? Did I want to do like a gradient? So I just ended up going all over the lid with a darker, like iridescent purpley color, and then in the inner corner I went with the lighter of the two to really allow my inner corner highlight to pop. In my outer V, I'm just using some of the matte black, which I'm loving in this palette, because not all of Morphe brushes palettes come with a matte black, and I feel like that's imperative with most eye looks, is having a good solid black. So I'm just using this in the outer corner, and then taking another blending brush, I think this is my MAC 217, and just blending all the colors together. There's no product, there's no additional color, but I wanted to deepen the outer corner and really create more depth on the lid. So to each his own, you can completely rock this look without the black. I just knew I wanted something a little bit more drama, and black brings you that drama. And then I'm going in with my 224 brush right after this and just blend everything together, all those plum and berry and brown colors, to make sure that it's seamless and there's no harsh lines. So at this point I'm like, oh, I have to do a wing. I've just used black, so I'm grabbing my NYC liquid liner and just creating a short little wing, nothing too dramatic, nothing slappy in the face. And then, I mean, you guys have seen me do this a million times, but I didn't want anything too heavy. And I just apply the liquid liner, as you see me doing here. And just applying it all over the lid, just along the lash line, because I know we're wearing falsies, so we want to make sure that that blends really, really seamlessly. And as far as mascara, I am using my Benefit Roller mascara. I've been gravitating more and more towards this on a daily basis. I am not happy with the price tag, but I do like the quality of the product. Just the bristle. I just like bristles that are really tight and can grab my little hairs, because they are few and far between. And as far as lashes, today we're going on with Cocoa Lashes and Pixie Lux. Haven't used these in some time, but I wanted a little bit more of a va-voom, and that is what I did. And I'm just using my Duo Glue and my tweezers and placing them like so on the lid. You guys, a new product alert. I've been using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner, and this is in the color Swerve, and I'm just tightlining so that everything marries really, really well together with my lashes. But for moisturizer, you guys, I've been using the Ren skincare line. I have been loving this. I got this in my Ipsy bag as a sample, but their day cream, I'm noticing quite the difference with hyperpigmentation and just having a nice solid base. And as an oily skin person, this is not contributing to the oil throughout the day, so I may have to go ahead and purchase the full size. As far as primers, you guys, I've been using my Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer in my pore areas. I really don't feel like I need primer all over the face, but just in the areas that are just a little redunk. New product alert here. I'm using my Sacha Cosmetics foundation called Second Skin, and I'm in the color Perfect Bronze. Upon immediate test on the back of my hand, I was thinking, oh god, she's too dark. But I do still have quite a bit of tan from my trip to the Caribbean. But I did notice that it had a pretty significant red undertone, so we'll see how this goes. I know throughout some of the clips I'm like, eek, I don't want to come across too Oompa Loompa. But I am placing it all over the face, and as you can see, I haven't even applied any concealer like I do when I'm hiding my dark spots, because I want to see how the coverage really plays, since this is my first time that I've ever used their product. Okay, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I am a little concerned about the color being a bit red, but for my concealer, Oldie but goodie, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn in the highlighted areas of my face, under my eyes, forehead, nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. You guys have seen me do this a million times. You take your beauty blender and then you just get to blending. This is where the sun most likely hits on your skin. You want to appear more lifted and more awake. So that is why we highlight. And I felt like for a full face tutorial, I would not skip in my daily steps. Another new product I'm using from Sacha Cosmetics is their matte face powder, still in the color Buttercup, but it's a pressed powder rather than the loose powder you guys see me bake with. I did like that it had that nice little covering and the really nice mirror so that you can have this on the go. And I'm just using my beauty blender, and I noticed that when I press into it, you get a pretty significant amount of powder return on your utensil. So I am liking that because sometimes the Buttercup, the loose powders can be really, really messy on my workstation or even when I'm working with clients. So this is my first time using it, but I'm really liking it and pressing it in, especially when you don't feel like baking. And I'm just applying this all in the areas that I used my concealer. Alright, you guys, for my contour, I'm using a Sacha powder blush. This is in the color Matte Brown. Upon first stroke, I was like, ooh, it's a little too dark. Or maybe it's a bit cool tone. But if you blend and keep blending and making sure that you are bringing all of your, see that face, that contour and your setting powder together, you can blend it all relatively well. It's just highly pigmented, as you can see. And I was like, uh-oh, but we're going to make it work and we're going to blend it in. I don't know, you guys, I can't see this as a blush. It's way too dark, but it definitely serves its purpose of snatching that mug and contouring your face, but maybe not for my skin tone. But that's how we live and we learn. And maybe I'll be using it for more of an eyeshadow rather than a blush and or a contour powder. But maybe for my darker beauties, it's definitely something that you could look into as a contour powder option. It's just a bit too dark for me. Guys, oh my god, oh my god. I'm using Cover FX, they're custom enhancer drops, and these are essentially just liquid highlighters. I'm using the color Candlelight, which is gorgeous. I don't even know how else to explain. I'm just using my damp beauty blender and just pressing this into the highlighted area of my cheekbone. I mean, you guys, it's so pretty. And I am not one to really gravitate towards liquid highlighters just because I use a lot of powders to set this mug. But she stayed in place, you guys, and I think that it was really beneficial to put down the liquid first when it comes to highlighter, and then applying my pressed powdered highlighter, which you'll see me do in the video as well. But girl, this is everything. I really have never utilized any other Cover FX. I mean, their foundation, but nothing like their oil drops or their enhancing beauty products. So very pleased with this one. For deeper skin tones, Candlelight is your pick. So we have our liquid highlighter on, and then I want to set that with another highlighter because you can never have too many highlighters. And I'm using my Sacha Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill collaboration face palette. And I just always love Champagne Pop. I've never used Prosecco Pop. I've never tested it before, but I did mix in this video and I felt like it wasn't too ashy on my skin tone. I really did like the payoff and how it worked well with the Cover FX drops. For cheek, I did dabble in this. What is this? This blush here. I mixed the two because I wanted more of like a faint flush of color, and I did find that it was really, really pretty too. Not too fair for my skin tone, and really gave a nice flush of color to my cheeks, and provided that dimension that I really, really like when I wear blush, because I'm a blush girl. I do enjoy blush. So I highly recommend this palette, you guys. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. As far as the lip goes, we're using MAC's Night Moth as our lip liner today. I haven't used this one in quite some time, but I wanted to make sure that I contoured my lip as much as possible. And this just does it for me, especially when you're trying to stay more like the wine berry tones. And I knew that I wanted to try a new lip product that I've owned for some time, but I've never used. And then for the gloss, it is a NYX Intense Butter Gloss. This is in the color Spice Cake. It's really a pretty like fuchsia, but very saturated in color, highly pigmented, and worked really, really beautifully with this liner. And I just applied this all over the lip. To finish the look, I did set my face with my Urban Decay The Slick. You guys, I bought a Sacha Fix It spray and completely forgot to use it, so I'll make sure to do that in another video. But there you have it, gems. New products. You guys get your hands on them. I'm still out. Jury's out on the Sacha Cosmetics, but foundation, but more to come. Bye.